Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I have the luxury to be joined by my good friend Josh Fan of ShowMeFootball.com and ArrowheadAddict.com. And today we're going to talk about how the Chiefs might have a new offensive coordinator, and that person's Taylor Swift. So, ladies and gentlemen of the Chiefs Kingdom, we have an interesting subject to talk about today. In an NBC Sports interview with Chris Sims, Patrick Mahomes talked about the possibility of the Chiefs maybe using a play that Taylor Swift has drawn up. And while that might seem ridiculous, Andy Reid has actually used plays in the past that have been drawn up by people far less influential than Taylor Swift. A couple years ago, he used a play that was apparently drawn up by a janitor at Arrowhead, and I think he used it in a big game. And so, Josh, my first question for you is, would you be just absolutely floored if the Chiefs used a play that Taylor Swift drew up?
No, not really, because as you said, they've used plays from people that seem less notable than Taylor Swift, including that janitor. Andy Reid has also dug in deep places to draw out plays. I mean, so like Rose Bowl that they ran in the 2019 Super Bowl against the Niners, Andy Reid had to go all the way back to, I think, like the 60s.
1948.
God, yeah, was it that? Yeah, that is crazy. I was going to say like the 50s or 60s. It was an old play. And it's like, Andy Reid, he will search every crack and crevice to keep the creative ideas flowing. So, yeah, I mean, Taylor Swift, I think, she's been learning about football. Patrick Mahomes said it in that interview that she's been getting into it and drawing some of her own plays. And the Chiefs may run one. I have a feeling Taylor Swift has the right connections with the Chiefs organization to be able to make that happen. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But of course, Andy Reid, I think, is probably going to have to revise whatever it is Taylor Swift is trying to do.
Oh, of course. Like, Andy Reid is not going to just straight up use whatever Taylor Swift sends him, but it could be something very interesting. Like, we've seen Andy Reid's offensive innovation do stuff like the 1948 Rose Bowl parade, or the Rose Bowl, where the players rotate, and we've seen the ring around the rosy and the spinning and all the creative offensive ideas that Andy Reid has put forth. Something that has been developed by Taylor Swift, and he tweaks a little bit. That's not that crazy. Like, I think there is a good chance that at some point in 2024, the Kansas City Chiefs use a play that pop icon Taylor Swift drew up, which is absolutely insane. I know, Josh, we talked about this on your channel. The fact that it's 2024 and we are talking about how the Chiefs are going for their third consecutive Super Bowl, and that Taylor Swift, the biggest celebrity on the planet, is dating maybe the best tight end ever in Travis Kelce, and they're going for their third Super Bowl, and they might just use a play that Taylor Swift draws up in a meaningful game. That is an absurd statement, but here we are in 2024. But I do think it's interesting to mention that, Andy Reid has used plays in the past that have been drawn up by, the janitor, and, probably by players that, didn't end up making the team or didn't have the, offensive creativity that Andy Reid does. But if we look back at some big plays like Jet Ship Wasp or Tom and Jerry or Corn Dog, they have a bunch of plays that will live on forever in the Chiefs Kingdom. If the Chiefs could utilize something that Taylor Swift drew up in a meaningful game, Josh, we're talking about something that would not only break the NFL, break the internet, but it would also probably be enshrined in Arrowhead forever.
Yeah, we talked about it, kind of like you said on my channel not too long ago, but the Chiefs have that one area that, again, I forget the name of what it was called, but you can see the Lombardi trophies. They have like Jamal Charles jersey in there, some memorabilia, stuff like that.
Or I guess like the Hall of Fame.
I think it might be, they might call it the Hall of Fame, but it's a fairly newer section of the stadium. And in there, they have a big video board, and they'll play, some of the most iconic Chiefs plays up there. And of course, you always see plays and playbooks sometimes put in display cases. And hey, look, Taylor Swift's play could very well be in the Chiefs Hall of Fame, because, I mean, that is just, it's a cross between pop culture and sports, two very polarizing things, and that creates a lot of attention, that breeds a lot of attention. A lot of people will go, hey, remember that one time the Kansas City Chiefs ran a play drawn up by some pop star Taylor Swift? I mean, that's like, it's just unheard of,
Well, that, and I think that, we need to look at it like this. The Chiefs offensively will try things that no other NFL team will try. Patrick Mahomes threw a behind the back pass in a preseason game a couple weeks ago. So the fact that they might, use something that Taylor Swift drew up and tweak it a little bit to fit their needs, I think that is more sane than throwing a behind the back pass. I mean, I don't think it's that absurd that they maybe take some creative ideas from, Taylor Swift or, really from anybody. Because again, Andy Reid has shown in the past to take inspiration from the craziest places. And so I don't think this is out of the realm of possibility at all. And I think there's a good chance that we see something, in a game in the future. Now, what that game will be, what the moment will be, I'm not sure. Josh, the question that I'm going to ask you is, what kind of play would Taylor Swift draw up? Is she running up the gut? Is it a play to Travis Kelce, her boyfriend? Like, what do you think that Taylor Swift is drawing up?
It's going to be Travis Kelce being the first option the entire time. I don't know what exactly it is that she would draw up, but all I ask, Taylor, is that you don't draw up a play from McCole Hardman. Just keep McCole Hardman out of the play, because I know they're good friends, but McCole Hardman doesn't need to be on the field, Taylor. Just remember that. We could put someone else. I mean, make it Juju. Maybe Taylor Swift and Juju Smith-Schuster could become good friends, and you can have him as your ex-wide receiver out there. Just keep McCole Hardman out of it. That's all I ask.
Listen, maybe, and Taylor, like, at the end of the day, like, I can't tell you what to do, but maybe draw up the play for your boyfriend to score a touchdown. Let's just say that. He's the best tight end in football. You can't really go wrong with that. But Josh, that's kind of all we have for this video. I mean, there's not much to talk about, but the idea. Go ahead.
I just hope, though, one thing that I hope we see is a picture released somewhere or posted or leaked or whatever of one of these plays that Taylor Swift has apparently drawn up. I just want to see what it looks like.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope that if the Chiefs do run it in the game, we find out about it. Like, I hope that this is something that they don't, gatekeep and never talk about. I can't imagine that they would if you're already talking about it in an interview. Clearly, you're comfortable enough with the subject, but I think that, this was a kind of shorter video and it didn't really have too much of a meaning, but I think that you can kind of take away from this that the Chiefs offensively will literally do anything to try to innovate and improve on offenses of the past. And that's why Andy Reid is the best offensive mastermind in NFL history. And Patrick Mahomes, he is the perfect guy to orchestrate out this master plan that Andy Reid has developed. And Taylor Swift might just be a part of that master plan. So Josh, with that being said, that's all we got for today. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on YouTube, Show Me Football. And then, of course, you can check out my work at showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com. And then follow me on Twitter at ShowMeFB.
All that stuff will be linked in the description of this video. As for me, subscribe to the channel if you're here right now. Hopefully we have some new Swifties watching this video. Like the video on your way out. Share it so more Chiefs fans can find it. Also follow me on Instagram, KC_Sports Report, and Twitter at KC Sports Report. Check me out on the Bleacher Report mobile app, Michael_Darcy. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video, and go Chiefs.